Here, and I am so excited to show you just a little bit inside of my December daily. So I just wanted to remind you that I have done 2 December daily prep videos. One is about the supplies that I've used, and one is about how I am organizing it this year. I didn't do foundation pages, so you won't see that, but you'll definitely see how I organized the album so that I could get started and feel good about having a place to start and having a foundation, but without having to do any of the pre-work like laying cards or anything like that. Because for me, I do like to work as I go on my pages and make sure that I'm using supplies that match the photos. So here is my opening page. You may have seen this if you follow me on Instagram. I have used a lot of different supplies this year, so I'm not going to specifically tell you what supplies are which because that's going to take a long time. I just wanted to kind of share a little bit about how I've gotten on with pre-December stuff. So actually everything that's in this album finished so far is all between Thanksgiving and December. So I do include any holiday related stuff like decorating or things like that. I include that in my December daily, not in my family album. So here we go. So I have also done like a Christmas wish list for things that I want to make sure that we're documenting. And then I also downloaded this free calendar, and it is linked in one of my other videos, but I'll probably link it up again just so that you have it. So I'm just keeping track of some things that we already have planned, and then I'll pen everything in once it's solid. And then I've made some dividers, so I'm doing like a weekly chunk at a time. That way you can just kind of keep track and feel like on the weekends I can just work on the previous week, and that's just what's going to work best for me. So, and I have not labeled them, the tab dividers. I've just made them all different colors that kind of match the overall kind of open spread that I've done for that divider. So this is technically December 1st through 4th, but all the things that are in here so far are things that have happened prior to December 1st. So this first one here is just the beginnings of going to Target, seeing the Wonder Shop all set up, and a little secret about taking this photo is that there was a woman coming out of this aisle and going to the other aisle, and I had to wait. I had to stay in the middle of the lane here to wait for her to move, and then I had to grab my kid and push him behind me because I knew that I had just this brief second to take this shot because there was somebody coming behind me and I could see somebody else over to the left coming into this aisle. So I made that a priority. Sometimes you just got to do that to get the shot, right? So I just made note that this is kind of where it all began. I knew the theme that I was going for again this year for decorating my house, and it was the first day that they had started putting Christmas stuff out. So not everything was out, but I went to go look, and I did find a couple of things, and then a couple things from the dollar bin. What do you call it now? The dollar spot. So anyway, that was just something I wanted to document. And then here are some things that are about decorating my house. So a project that I was working on, and then the finished product, and I use these little letters here. And then this card to just say I was decking the halls and that it kind of started early. And then some of the finished displays around my house, just the little clusters of decorations that kind of always go up, and every year they go up in a little bit of a different arrangement, but that's kind of what's so fun, is seeing all those ornaments and decorations that you use year after year and trying to figure out something fun and new to do with them. But even just breaking them out and seeing them each year, I really get a kick out of. And then here I did something a little different, which I don't normally do, but I did do some outside of the pocket stuff on the actual pocket. Like, I'm not afraid of just throwing something in and it not being in a pocket, but rarely do I ever put anything on top of a pocket page. But I thought that I would try something new. I don't know. It kind of makes me feel a little weird, but I ended up liking it. So what I did was I used a couple of older letters, and then for the O, I used this, the Reset Girl has a retro feel in her Lister's Got a List kit this month. So I used the record and put it on the opposite side of the circle here. So what bugs me about using you know, smaller embellishments inside of the pockets is that I don't like you to be able to see other things on the other side. It's just kind of bugs me. So like I make sure to, you know, I mean, it's fine. This kind of bugs me a little bit with having a background on this cup, but you know, I did what I could and I'm living with it and it's totally fine. But I put this, this check pattern back here. It's actually just two 3x4s cut out of a 12x12. And then I just glued the doily right on top of that. And I just wanted that to kind of coordinate with the big photo over here. And I needed to add some red, and I really didn't want to decorate these cards. So that was just kind of my way of covering it up in a way, but making it still feel like it's cohesive. So not my favorite page, and I was still really trying to find my groove. I feel like this is such a big project and something I know I'm going to be living for, you know, the whole entire month and beyond. So it's kind of like starting from scratch in a way. For me, it was just kind of getting my feet wet again. And then this turned out to be such a fun and simple page, and this is another one that I posted on Instagram. So it's really a go-to format for me is a large photo and then a pocket design. So what makes it really easy sometimes is that I don't need a story for this. So there really isn't anything special about this other than this great capture. And I was just so happy that he was willing to sit there with the lights and kind of do a little, you know, photo shoot with me, just something really simple, and that I was able to capture something really fun. And that's just the story. And so I don't feel like I need a bunch of words to say that. I felt like maybe I could just use some supplies and a supporting photo to say what I needed to say. And sometimes that's just how things go. But this is just a really simple and easy page. And then here I've started to find my groove a bit, and I'm getting a lot more comfortable with just putting my supplies together, just because I have so many different collections. I'm trying to just kind of figure out which reds match each other and you know, just kind of what goes together. So here are just some more displays of the house, and I made a real simple card here. And then here this is actually a 4x6 piece of pattern paper, and then I've just layered some things on top, like this photo, put a little divider tab here and layered a couple of things. And on the other side, it's an actual 5x7 photo that I've glued to the other side and made a different label, not a label, a tab punch, you know, with the We Are Memory Keepers tab punch. And I made it this wood color so that it went with like the brown and the yardsticks, because it wouldn't make sense to do this same pattern on this side. So I just did, you know, again, doesn't really need any journal, because I've used this 6x8 that says stockings hung by the fire in order to tell the story that the stockings are finally up. And then I've got two more here. I think I will end up putting a patterned piece of paper here, something that coordinates with this, but I didn't get to that yet. But here's just a cute little 4x4 of an evening. Marcia and I went out. It was really cold, so I just journaled a bit about it, did some alphas, and then I had a screenshot of the weather. I actually had selected Thursday, but used it for Wednesday because it still showed Wednesday's temperature there, and it was not 53 or 57. It was more like 40 something, but it was cold, and we bundled up. So here in California, you know, we're kind of wusses when it comes to the cold. So 50 was cold. But that's the story for that page. And then the next day we made cookies. So a couple of things here. I used this card and then added a couple of little things. So this right here is from the Reset Girl, and her Her Lister's Got a List kit has this just some really cute retro, very colorful kinds of elements about baking and parties and just kind of all the Christmassy things like church and just really retro fun things. So I used the little measuring spoons here because we were obviously making cookies, did a little stamp, and I was trying to find a little something to put here. I haven't found anything that I want to put there yet, but I feel like it's empty. So I might find something or I might just leave it there. It's not a big deal. And this was a wood veneer. Well, it still is wood, but it was just plain wood color. And I was feeling like it needed some blue over here and I didn't want to back this photo or anything. I didn't want to trim it. And so I grabbed this heart and then I actually just stamped some of the Illustrated Faith stamp ink that comes in the devotional kits. I had a blue that matched perfectly with just the other color blue I was using and, just let it dry and then glued it right there and thought that was just enough. It just doesn't take too much away from the photo, but adds just enough. And then again, from the Reset Girl, that's what I was talking about. She's got all these different little elements. Super cute little die cuts. And it's a perfect little red mixer, so I was saving that for making sure that I documented us making cookies. So going forward, I will fill this up now with everything. I still have a couple of more days. I think this was the 28th and this is the 29th. So I've got one more day. I think there might be enough for 2 more pages. I'm not 100% sure yet. And then I will continue to fill it up with day 1 and day 2 because that's all I've printed so far. And then I will fill this in as I start to kind of document and get my feel for what happened during the week. And then I'll end up decorating this a little bit more. And then I go on to the following week. So if you want to see some more about the divider pages that I've done, you can see my December daily prep video, and that is on my YouTube channel. Otherwise, I hope that you guys have been having so much fun with your December dailies and that you're not feeling overwhelmed. So remember, not a competition. It's not I have to have perfect pages like so-and-so. It is a representation of you, your style, your family, the things that you love, the things that are important to you. So just keep that in mind. Let's try not to be too hard on ourselves during this project. It's already a tough enough time of the year and we just want to make this fun. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed. If you have questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer. Talk to you guys really soon. Bye.